Oh yeah. What's going on with everybody, bro? Back with another stream. About to be 8:30, May 13th, 2026. And did we see some cinema yesterday from Florentino Perez at Real Madrid? I mean, you want to talk about one of the greatest press conferences of all time. Now, did everything that he say was right? We're going to get into that. But also, what shots were fired towards a lot of people in the media in Spain, Barcelona, the referee scandal that's been going on there apparently for close to now 30 years. It's insane stuff that we're going to be talking about here. And majority of this video of this stream will be talking about Florentino Perez, along with some updates on the Chelsea manager news. Seeing a lot of people, calling out Chelsea fans for wanting a manager at the club, which is insane to me, to be honest with you. I mean, I can actually dive into that real quick. The Chelsea fans that are so dead set on Blue Co out, and I'm one of those people that want Blue Co out of the club. I've been saying this for the longest time. I'll show it right here. I've been showing this every single fucking stream, bro. Like, my message to those people that continue to say that the Chelsea fans that are not looking at the big picture here. No, we're all looking at the big picture here. I think you guys are just so, you guys have your head so far in your ass right now in terms of getting this ownership out that you're not looking at what the club needs on the pitch. Now I understand the financial situation. I understand how ridiculous this ownership has been. Go check out my videos if you haven't on this shit. Like, I want Blue Co out more than anybody. As an American Chelsea fan, these guys are from the States. I don't approve of what they're doing overseas, ruining institutions, 2 different football clubs. I don't approve of any ownership that goes into a club and is looking for personal greed rather than trying to get the on-field performances and the team to actually look decent out there, right? The micromanagement of the club has been absolutely ridiculous. You've gone through 6 different managers in 4 seasons for a reason. It's not because the managers are dog shit. A lot of them weren't the right guys for the job. Liam Rosini, Graham Potter were not the right people for the job. But when you have managers like Pochettino, you have managers like Thomas Tuchel at your disposal and Enzo Maresca, you should be able to have a team that goes out there and at least competes. But when shit at the board level is starting to trickle down onto the pitch, onto the field, and the players are being affected, that's when you can start calling out the ownership. But the players need a fucking voice in the dressing room, bro, to distract them from what's going on above them. But there's too many of these big Chelsea fans out there, the ones that have the blue ticks on Twitter, that are calling out people for wanting a good manager at this club. And one other thing is that there's a protest scheduled for Saturday during an FA Cup final, right? I'm for the protest, but couldn't we have scheduled this on a non-cup final day? I understand the exposure you want to have putting out the public message of Blue Co out, and it says right here, I've been saying this for the longest time, but there couldn't have been any other weekend for this. Like, there really couldn't have. That's just my opinion on it. I mean, I don't really care what people have to say about it. I'm just giving my opinion on it. I think there's other days that you could have done this, like earlier on in the season when people were getting disgruntled, but now all of a sudden we want to do protests on probably the biggest game of the season. I'm talking about time management and how much you guys actually cared about getting this ownership out rather than scheduling it during an FA Cup final day. I mean, I'm going to support the protest because I want the ownership out just as much as these guys that keep on pushing the message. Bobby Fairview, Johnny Minerals, Eunice, all these guys, right? But at the same time, what needs to be talked about here is we've had ample times to do these protests, and we're scheduling it during an FA Cup final day, where the focus should be on trying to win that piece of silverware, in my opinion, rather than pushing a message that we've been saying for the better part of 2 years now, Where were all the protests last season? Where were all the protests earlier in the season? Oh yeah, I forgot because the team was playing well, right? So you guys just forgot about that part. It's ridiculous, bro. I just think a lot of you guys that are over here calling out people that want a manager at the club are missing the entire point of what a protest should really be. You should be continuously trying to organize protests throughout the season rather than doing it towards the end of the season because Chelsea are ninth in the Premier League. They're not going to make the Champions League. Like, you guys need to manage your time better with that shit. Don't talk about organizing it. Just go out there and go fucking do it. Honestly, like, just go out there and do it. You guys are over here acting like a bunch of clowns online, crying and bitching that there's Chelsea fans out there that just want a good manager at the club, bro. I can care less. Like, the ownership and the management shit are two different things, bro. The ownership needs to go. They've been needed to fucking go. But you see people like Rory Jennings saying, oh, well, Xabi Alonso is just using Chelsea as a way to get to Liverpool. If he is, he is. We're not in control of what this man does. But at the end of the day, the problem I have with you guys, honestly, and a lot of you guys just hide behind your fucking blue ticks on Twitter, honestly. You guys aren't putting a face to any of this, except for Bobby Fairview, except for Johnny Minerals, except for Eunice, except for a lot of these cats, bro. Because they're willing to put their opinions in their face to what they're talking about. Knock it off, guys. Like, knock it off. This club needs a manager. Once the manager is in place, you can start really pushing the agenda that Blue Co needs to leave, bro. Even more. Because I'm on board with that. But I want a manager in here first because what I care about right now is, as much as the ownership needs to go and as much as I want this club to be back at the pinnacle of English football, this team can't go the on-field performances have to be better, bro. They absolutely have to. It doesn't matter who the ownership is, man. They just have to be better. So I'm gonna end it right there on this whole freaking civil war that's going on between the Chelsea fans. Like I said last week, a few weeks ago, we should be united in this rather than going at each other on if we want Xabi Alonso or not, or Andoni Iraola, bro. Like, wake up and smell the fucking roses, bro. There's an FA Cup final at the weekend, and we should be looking at that as a possibility to win silverware on top of getting into Europe as the only way. Because if we don't get into Europe, our financial situation just gets worse. It just gets worse. And people want to continue to call out Chelsea fans for whatever reason. Stop doing that shit, man. Because I could even pull up this before I get into Florentino Perez, man, because that's going to be a huge part in what's going on here. Now, Max CFC Pice or whatever, however you say his name, right? This is why, like, I'm just not a fan of where is it at? I literally just had that shit up, bro. That's what happens when I don't have, like, actually not, I don't have. Yeah, it's right here. This is the kind of stuff here that I'm getting real sick and tired of, man. Honestly. Like, I'm getting real sick and tired of this shit. Let me get the overlay up for this. I'm getting real sick and tired of this shit, man. The abuse that this guy is getting right now from Chelsea fans, specifically the ones who are going on YouTube, talking about the financial situation and shit. This is the kind of stuff, whether you agree with this guy or not, man, at least have the decency and show respect and talk to him face to face rather than just screenshotting and taking photos from behind and putting on a faceless account for a pile on, which is what a lot of you big Chelsea Twitter accounts are fucking doing right now. Calling him a brown envelope, calling him this and that, right? The guy is over here reporting what he's being told. What is wrong with that? Can you guys answer that for me? Like, what is wrong with that? I don't see anything wrong that he's doing. Now, could he change up his opinions a little bit? Sure. But At the end of the day, a lot of you people that are attacking him right now are keyboard warriors. Put your face to the opinions that you're talking about. Otherwise, you guys are fucking cowards. At the end of the day, you guys are fucking cowards. What is wrong with fans wanting Xabi Alonso at the club? You guys want Iraola instead? Who do you guys want? This is all being prefaced on Blue Coats still have to leave, bro. It doesn't matter. But we cannot continue to abuse this man because he's reporting stuff that he hears or he's giving his opinion. I don't see anybody talking shit about me on here. Why is that? Because I'm putting my face to the opinions? We need to knock it off with this shit, bro. The online abuse that a lot of people are getting right now because they're speaking out about a manager they want is ridiculous. It doesn't change the fact on how they feel about the ownership. Where's all the comments towards me right now? Where are they? They're nowhere to be found because I'll call your ass out. I don't have a problem doing that. Because I think a lot of you guys really need a reality check on what's really going on. Everyone keeps talking about the players this, the players that, the manager this, and the manager that. But the same people are still talking about how the ownership needs to leave. Stop flip-flopping. I've been consistent. I want the ownership out just as much as a lot of these people want the ownership out. But I also want a serious manager at this club. Because what I care about the most, realistically, is the on-field performances that we've been seeing for the better part of 6 months. I didn't see anybody talking about this when Enzo Maresca was at the helm. I didn't see anybody doing it. I didn't see anybody. Now, all of a sudden, we go on a horrific second half of the season. Oh, Blue Co out, Blue Co out, Blue Co out. Be consistent. Nobody was saying anything, realistically, except for a few people that called it out very early. And they've been consistent the entire time. I can appreciate that. Everybody had a different view of this ownership last year. Now, all of a sudden, everybody wants them out. I've been consistent even before this YouTube channel started, bro. Cool. We won the Club World Cup. Cool. We won the Conference League. Cool. We snatched a Champions League spot. But I was on record, and you could even ask my friends, my girl, my daughter, bro, how much I want this ownership out. Because private equity doesn't belong in football. It never has. Stop getting on this man. He's one of the few people that will put his face to the opinions and defend why he's doing it. I don't see anybody else doing that. Everyone on here is a bunch of cowards, bro. At the end of the day, a bunch of fucking cowards. For real, bro. You guys are cowards, man. It's ridiculous, dude. Anyway, enough of the rant about the online abuse that these people are getting, bro. It's ridiculous, man. Like, grow up, dude. A lot of you Chelsea fans out there that don't have any profile pictures, a lot of you guys who are just only Blue Co out this, taking out the ownership is a separate issue right now. And there's an FA Cup final at the weekend, and people are more worried about a fucking protest. I'm supporting that protest no matter what. But at the end of the day, where were these protests earlier in the season? Where were they? Nowhere to be found. Because we went on a horrific run of form, and now all the protests want to start being scheduled and fucking organized. Knock it off, man. You guys are just as bad as the ones that want to say Blue Co in. Honestly, just as bad, if not worse. I'm sorry. You guys really, really are. But if we're going to get into the Florentino Perez bombshell that he had yesterday, bro, holy shit. Like, holy fucking shit. Did we see some crazy shit that he said yesterday? And one last thing about the Chelsea fans and the ownership and all that stuff, right? I don't see the ownership doing stuff like this. Why? Because they're cowards. They're not going to call out the media because they have the media in their back pocket. This is why you see all the PR briefs still. I mean, it's just ridiculous, bro. You guys are a bunch of idiots, man. Honestly, like, you guys really, really are. But anyway, we're gonna get into this Florentino Perez thing where he comes out yesterday and he schedules an emergency press conference. And people are thinking he's gonna announce like the new manager. He's gonna talk about the sporting side of the club. Oh, he did anything but that. Anything but that, bro. So he comes out yesterday, and the first thing that he says is, "I'm sorry to say, I won't be stepping down." Like, just lays it out there, right? Next, why do journalists want to go against the most prestigious, highest valued, and most popular club in the world? Why do this to the highest valued team in the world according to transfer market? Why? We have everything. I'm a little embarrassed to say that I have been voted the best president in history, but also, why do you want to kill me? Going in, bro. I'm telling you. This is something sentimental because my dad was constantly reading ABC and he subscribed to me. And he subscribed me to ABC many years ago. But now I honor my father by unsubscribing. Look at the two articles they published today from a woman I do not know if she knows football or not. When I wake up earliest in the morning and go to sleep latest at night of everyone here, I work like an animal. We are facing a corruption problem. The Negreas case that has no precedent in the history of world football it's the biggest scandal in history, a case that has not been solved, incomprehensible that referees from that era are still with La Liga. Since I've been here, we've won 7 Champions Leagues and 7 league titles, which is bad because I could have had won 14. The others were stolen from me. I have to defend and fight for Real Madrid. I'm not here to watch referees and get rich off Barcelona's money. And Barcelona put out a statement too after this press conference. This girl, let her speak. The rest of you are so ugly as fuck. It's not the first time 2 players have fought. I've been here 26 years and there's a fight almost every season. The only difference is that this time it was leaked to the media and made into something bigger. But we know who leaked it. I wonder who it was. We'll have elections and I invite everyone who wants to run. I'm going to run to defend the interests of Real Madrid members and not of these journalists who think that by doing harm and creating confusion, they are going to somehow intimidate me. You actually feel me with more energy than I have. I will not be intimidated. I want to remind all of you all, if your memories don't fail you, that with me as president, we've won 37 titles in football and 29 in basketball, which is one of the biggest flexes you can have, man. Honestly, like, you over here just strutting your shit saying, bro, I won 76 titles, bro. What are you about to really tell me? I'm not successful? It's crazy, bro. I mean, Florentino Perez is one of the greatest club presidents of all time, if not the greatest. The 100,000 members of Real Madrid are very powerful, and they are with me in the battle I'm having against the Negreas referees and against others. We shouldn't be booing the players. It's like booing our own children. Now, this is where I kind of disagree with them because the performances this season for Real Madrid have not been good. And the fans have every right to boo the players if they're dissatisfied with the performances, and now going on 2 straight seasons without winning any trophies. Since Kylian Mbappe has got there, they haven't won a trophy, a major trophy. The fans have every right to be upset. Why don't you write about other clubs? Why don't you write about Atletico Madrid like this. Well, brother, Atletico Madrid are not in the same stratosphere as your club. They're just not. But then if we pull over to the Barcelona official website, hopefully my computer doesn't slow down because I hate Barcelona, man. But this is what they said in regarding to the press conference that he said yesterday. Regarding the press conference held by Real Madrid's president Florentino Perez, we informed that our legal department are carefully examining his declarations and accusations. They are currently being analyzed and the steps to be taken are being assessed. When considered opportune, any positions and decisions that have been adopted will be notified. So I mean, they're essentially on the case. Bro, is this shit dead? I think it is dead. But they're essentially on the case right now. Now, if we pull up the Negreira scandal, hopefully I spell it right. Okay. So I'm not too familiar with the scandal itself, but when he mentioned it yesterday, we're going to go ahead and pull over here. So the key aspects of this scandal that he's speaking on is over 7 million euros were paid to companies linked to this man specifically. I don't want to say his name because I don't know how to really say it. During his time as vice president of the referees committee, so 7 million euros were paid to a guy who is linked with these companies, right? In charges, Barcelona's former president Sandro Rosell and Josep Artemeu were indicted for corruption, breach of trust, and later bribery and false business records. A defense. Barcelona has stated the payments were for technical consultancy, scouting reports, and referee analysis. The latest legal developments apparently are in May 2024, the bribery charges were dismissed because he was not considered a public official, but the case continues focusing on sports corruption. As of October 2025, the club remains under investigation and formally charged with corporate corruption. The UEFA termed it one of the most serious situations in football he has ever seen. Right, and then if we go over here, I'm going to just go ahead and pull this up, give you guys a read. So, essentially, they're being accused of the referees at that time, I guess, were being paid or whatever. And in Florentino Perez's opinion, he's lost 7 league titles because of it. I wonder if he's going to count the 2011 Champions League semifinal. I wonder if he will consider that. I don't think he will, though. Even though he should. If you're having a serious accusation like that, I mean, it's crazy. And then it says here, Barcelona have confirmed their legal team is considering action against Florentino Perez following his explosive comments about the case. Perez reportedly accused Barcelona of sporting corruption, claimed the club stole 7 La Liga titles through favorable refereeing, said that Real Madrid will submit a dossier to UEFA over what he described as the biggest corruption case in footballing history. Now, with that part being said, this man right here is going to be brought into Real Madrid to be in the firing line because this conference is going to be about what Florentino Perez said. Like, that's going to be the first thing on the media's bucket list. And the exchanges between Florentino Perez yesterday and the media was absolutely crazy, bro. Going back and forth with ABC News, with Marca, with I think it's Ravello or something like that. Like, it was absolutely insane. what he's saying, for the longest time, I mean, as a Chelsea fan, we all remember the 2009 Champions League semifinal at Stamford Bridge, where it's been confirmed there was corruption in that game, right? But that was also in 2009. A lot of the stuff that he is saying is happening, I guess, either during that time or in the mid 2010s when Barcelona were winning La Liga for fun. For fun. Do I believe that Barcelona has some corrupt tendencies in them? Absolutely. Absolutely. But for Florentino Perez to come out free will on his own time and then also deny the fact that he has cancer is insane. But what I also wonder is, who is the person in the dressing room that is leaking the information? Now, we've seen stuff on Tchouaméni and Valverde. Valverde may seem like he's on the move next season, bro. I'll get to this in a second because I do want to talk about the Chelsea manager news too. But if Valverde is made available by Real Madrid, which club do you guys think is going to come in for him? That's what I want to know. Like, which club do you guys think would go in for a Valverde? If Chelsea were actually in a good position in the league and they were qualified for the Champions League, I'd say we should absolutely go after him. But again, players like that, this ownership has already proven they're not going to go get players like that. Which I think he's one of the most underappreciated players in the world, bro. Honestly, like, I think he's that good of a footballer. Very underrated, very underappreciated too. And he doesn't get talked about enough, honestly, as being a top midfielder. I don't see it enough. Real Madrid fans think so, but I just don't see it talked about enough. So if I go into this part right here, and like, this is where like Chelsea fans, or the ones that continue to actually, let's go over here first. Manchester United and Michael Carrick are set to continue together next season and beyond. Chances increasing for weeks as reported, and everyone at Manchester United feels he should stay. Players, management, everyone is on the same page. I've been saying this, Michael Carrick is going to end up being the manager next season, and we'll see what he can really do in his first full season with Champions League, with the league season. We'll see what happens. I mean, I think Man United are going to be decent next season. Will they get third? I don't know, maybe. Because I don't think Chelsea will be as bad next season. I don't think Spurs are going to be as bad next season. But I do think like the rest of the Premier League is starting to close the gap on the big six. I really, really do. But that's good for Manchester United. I mean, they're back in the Champions League. And they deserve to be in the Champions League. They've had an exceptional season, honestly. As soon as they sacked Ruben Amorim, their season took off, and the exact opposite happened of what Chelsea brought. The exact opposite happened. I'll share this too. I think if Chelsea get into the Europa League by winning the FA Cup, we will get Xabi Alonso. But if we fail to get any European football next season, I think we end up with Andoni Iraola. And that's a real possibility. I think getting Xabi Alonso is going to be dependent on beating Man City in the FA Cup, which I've been on record saying I don't think we will beat Man City. But again, you never know. This is why you play the game. You just can't assume something is going to happen, because people assumed Man City were going to go beat Everton and they drew 3-3. People assumed Arsenal were going to beat Bournemouth. Bournemouth went to the Emirates and won 2-1. So you never really know in this sport. If Chelsea show up on Sunday, or on Saturday rather, then yeah, I think it's a real possibility, bro. You never know. But let's go back over here real quick, right? The information we have is that Chelsea are exploring a deal for Xabi Alonso and that he would be open to this possibility. It would seem that Alonso is at the forefront of Chelsea minds at the moment, but the process continues. Expect news in the next days and weeks. I mean, we're not going to know until mid-June who the manager is, bro, honestly. This guy says I would even put Xabi Alonso in for the FA Cup. I mean, that's not realistic, bro. It's like this dude said here, right? I think Xabi Alonso is very dependent on winning the FA Cup at this point. Andoni Iraola is probably waiting to see what happens, but he's probably hoping that Chelsea don't win the FA Cup. But if I'm Iraola, I'm looking at a possibility of Bournemouth may qualify for the Champions League. Why wouldn't you stay? You're gonna definitely have more money offered to you in terms of like getting players in. But my preference obviously would be Alonso, but we'll see what happens. I mean, the FA Cup final on Saturday is going to be a big deal, really. I mean, there's a protest. It's like I said earlier on in this stream, bro, that I think that the fans have completely mismanaged when the protests should really be happening. We should have been scheduling protests last season, earlier on this season, but we didn't do it. So I don't want to hear like, oh, everyone needs to show up and show support. People are going to show up and show out regardless, but a lot of these fans are also going to see if Chelsea can actually do the impossible. Chelsea are a different team in cup finals than, say, like a league season, right? We saw this in the Club World Cup, even though it was under a different manager. When Chelsea get the finals, they're a lot more difficult to play against because it's a one-off game where you're actually competing for something. And I just feel like I don't think we win, but I think the game is going to be made very, very difficult for Man City. And it's like I said, if we keep it close and it's still tight going into the 70th and 80th minute, I'm going to be thinking optimistically. Keep it close in the first half. Put pressure on Man City. Don't make stupid mistakes in the back. Just don't do that. I mean, but that's really all I can really say on it. I hear you, bro. I mean, like I called Alex Goldberg a clown last week, and I still think he is a clown. But like realistically, like just have such a bad feeling that we won't get Xabi Alonso. That's based on no info, just my lack of trust with this club. I mean, if there's anything to go off of, yeah, I mean, they're like this club at the end of the day may end up going after Andoni Iraola, bro. But I think the manager's search is going to be dependent on if Chelsea get into Europe or not. That's how you get Alonso through the door. Is you do that. You get into Europe. Otherwise, Iraola will be the new Chelsea manager, bro. Javier Tebas on Florentino Perez after his infamous press conference. It's sad that a man like Florentino, with all the business prestige and everything he's done for Real Madrid, has to come out and lie and say these things. Everyone knows I'm a Real Madrid fan, even though I'm taking a break right now. I feel sorry for Real Madrid because you can't keep telling lies all the time. Yeah, Real Madrid are in trouble, bro. They're in huge trouble. I thought thought that was for. Should Chelsea win the FA Cup, where would you classify this season on a scale of 1 to 10? A 5. The FA Cup would bring it up from a 2 to a 5. Honestly. But another thing I wanted to touch on, because I don't know how long I'm going to be on stream today, guys. I'm not really like. Did you say Tony Kroos, bro? Carlos Kroos? I don't even know who that is, bro. Okay. I don't know. I've been streaming 36 minutes. I'll be honest, guys. That's all. I mean, I could just go full face cam here about this. About the Chelsea stuff, bro. I'm gonna just keep saying this, man. Like, I think a lot of you people that have the big platforms on this site, on YouTube, on Twitter, really need to stop with the online abuse. I really think you guys need to knock it off, man. I think you guys have a lot of issues upstairs when it comes to that. Like, the validation you're trying to get by making people feel like shit for reporting stuff they're hearing is crazy work, dude. Is really, really crazy. Like, the abuse that Max is getting right now on Twitter, on Instagram, or whatever, bro, I think it needs to stop. Because what is the point of this? What is the point? You guys are doing the absolute most. For what reason? Because you're upset with the ownership. Take the frustrations out on the ownership. Don't take it out on the fans. And I'm not speaking to Johnny Minerals. I'm not speaking to Bobby Fairview. I'm not speaking to any of these cats, bro. I'm talking about the ones that have faceless pictures on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, that get into the comment sections and just like try to abuse these people for just speaking their opinions on what's going on. It's like, you guys need some serious help, bro. Like, you really, really do. Like, I've never seen this fan base so divided and so toxic in my 25 years of being a fan. And realistically, this is like the worst it's ever been. And you want to be united in this and try to push out the major issue at the club. But when people are just giving their opinions on who they want as managers, I think that should be separate to how they feel about the ownership. I really, really do. Like, I'll hold my hands up and say that in the first couple years of Blue Co being here, I was for what they were doing. But as the season's gone on and as the years have gone on, you start to see the ineptitude and the ridiculousness and the lies they've been putting out there. Yet my opinions are going to change on that. And when you see the way that the season has gone down this year, after the season we had last year with a decent manager there that actually brought the best out of these players, yeah, you're going to find it really hard to convince me that the ownership should stay. Once Enzo Maresca got the axe, once he parted ways, it only ramped up my hatred for Blue Co even more. Because I was a defender of Enzo Maresca. I was a defender of what he was doing, and he wasn't doing a bad job as a manager. Ask these players how they really feel about him. Are you going to start calling these players out? Probably not. You're not going to call them out for how they felt. You just won't. Because a lot of you guys are going to be cowards if you went up to these players face to face and told them how you really felt. You guys really, really, really would. That's what I'm saying. A lot of you guys hide on Twitter, hide on Instagram, hide on YouTube, hide in the YouTube comment sections, and won't put a freaking face to the words that you're saying. You guys just won't do it because you're scared. I'm not scared. Y'all can come at me all you want. I really don't care. Because I'll call you out because all you guys are, at the end of the day, are keyboard warriors. Put your money where your mouth is and put a face to the opinions you're trying to put out there. Otherwise, stop going in these people comment sections. Stop sending them abusive DMs, all that stuff. There's no point because all you're doing is proving their point. Honestly, like it's ridiculous, man. You guys need some serious help, bro. You guys really, really do. And like that's another thing I want to say is like Chelsea fans, bro. You guys don't want Xabi Alonso, then who do you guys want, bro? Like at this point, who do you guys want as the manager? Leave the ownership part out of it. It is a separate issue right now. Who do you guys want as the manager? You guys can't give me a real legit name because Thomas Tuchel is not coming back. Enzo Maresca is not coming back. Even though I would love that for Enzo or Thomas Tuchel for them to come back. Absolutely. But who's out there? That's my thing. Is like who's out there? You guys don't have an answer. Oliver Glasner, who I don't think is a bad manager, honestly. Jose Mourinho, he's gonna go to Real Madrid, bro. Even though I would love for him to come back because he would honestly slap these managers. He would kill these managers, first of all, and he would get these players to actually play in the games. So, yeah, I agree with that. Jose Mourinho would be the guy, but he's not going to come back to Chelsea for a third time, unfortunately. Like, Chelsea fans don't have an answer for that. Maurizio Sarri, that would be insane. That would actually be pretty nuts. Even though I feel like he did get let go unfairly. He won his first trophy with us too, bro. I mean, he was unfortunate not to win the Carabao Cup and shit, honestly. Because Chelsea didn't play bad in that game against Man City. And N'Golo Kante, he missed a golden opportunity. We lost in a penalty shootout. And you got Kepa doing what he did, which was crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't understand like who Chelsea fans want. Like, they're so wishy-washy on which manager they want. It's ridiculous, dude. It's like a lot of you fans out there are just a bunch of crybabies, man. Oh, we don't want this guy because he's this, or we don't want that guy because he played for Liverpool. It's like your guys' mentality is in the bin, man. It really, really is. And yeah, I don't have a British accent, bro. I don't need to be British to support this club at all. I don't. I've been a fan of this team since I was 8 years old, bro. So I'm trying to help y'all out. As somebody that's been watching this team from the other side of the pond, that actually gives a fucking wakes up early in the morning to watch these games. You don't see a lot of American fans do that shit. You really, really don't. We get criticized for not knowing the sport, but trust you me, I know a lot more about this sport than a lot of the UK fans, honestly. And if you ever want to have a conversation about that, I'll be happy to allow you on my channel and we can really go back and forth about it. Because I'm here for the engagement and stuff like that. I'm here for those kind of conversations to educate a lot of the fans out there that there's Americans that know this sport probably better than where the game was birthed at. That's just me. But time is in 44 minutes I've been recording. I know a lot of this has been me just like ranting about the stuff I've been seeing, and it's just been ridiculous, man. Like a lot of you fans, bro, just like you guys are just so toxic. It's crazy. So Khan says this right here. Let me go ahead and show. So Khan said, appoint Alonso, sell as many players as possible who are not at the level. Sign as many players as possible who are. Drop the young player fetish. Sign players based on how they'll improve us, not on the resale. Am I asking for too much? Probably. I mean, you're going to get shredded for even posting that, bro. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, Blue Coat is after something else. And this is why people are saying that Alonso's not going to happen, because Blue Coat's not going to change their model. They probably won't change their model, which is why I'm skeptical also about him coming through the door, because are you really going to give him that kind of control? Probably not. But if he is the guy that walks through the door, then I don't even know what else to really say at that point. What do you really say? And the people that are Blue Co out, what do you really say? Are you going to be upset that he's the new manager? Probably. Because those fans want mediocrity, bro. Like, they really, really do. Alonso, say he gets signed as the manager, there's going to be Chelsea fans out there that are going to be pissed off and upset that he is the manager. It's like, it's never been the manager's faults, man. Never. It's always been about the ownership and who's running the football club, bro. That's what it's always been about. If you continue to chop and change managers and you're not winning in that same time like Roman Abramovich did, then this ownership is an absolute disgrace. 6 managers in 4 seasons. I have a video uploaded about that. 6 managers in 4 seasons is nuts, bro. You can't do that and expect these players to want to be there and be consistent and win things. You can't. You just can't. I mean, more than likely, yeah.
Appreciate all the support on this page. It's been doing so well. I'm really trying to get as much source information as I can for you guys. And I've recently joined Striver.football. So go and check out this website, okay? I'm going to be doing articles on there and also continue to post stuff on here. And it's been really good to see that some of the information that I've got, a lot of it actually has been backed up. So hopefully you guys can, you know, believe me, trust me, I've had a lot of great support. So just wanted to come on here and sort of say thank you for that. We've had...
Yeah, bro, I'm supporting you, man. I think a lot of the abuse that you're getting, Max, is absolutely ridiculous, bro. Absolutely ridiculous. When your job is to report stuff that you're being told, and people have a different agenda on their mind to just abuse you because of the stuff that you're putting out, keep doing your shit, bro. Keep doing your shit, man. I'm here to support you on that, because I want you to blow up, because you're turning into, honestly, a decent journalist, man. A decent reporter. Keep doing your job, Max. I'm begging you, bro. Do not give up on this shit. Don't do it.
Kind of like plus 6,000 followers in the last 20 days or so. Last month, it's been absolutely crazy. Second of all, I'm going to be starting Twitch as well. It will be on Alex's channel, but we will be like rebranding it and making it like a Chelsea kind of centric hub. So yeah, keep an eye on there for Twitch. More announcements on that coming soon. And just third of all, I've seen this thing going around. There's some sort of, you know, people, someone saw me at Stamford Bridge or whatever, took a picture back of my head, zoomed in, posted it online. I just want to come on here and say, you know, because you can see me right here, right? I'm not going anywhere. I'm not hiding anything, unlike some people.
What have I been saying? What have I been saying since the start of the stream? There's people on Twitter, there's people on Instagram that want to hide behind their fucking phones and their fucking keyboards instead of putting their face on camera online and putting their opinions out there. You guys are a bunch of cowards. Grow up. Get out of your mom's basement. Stop whacking off, bro. Like, just stop. You guys are the actual issue in the fan base right now. You guys aren't supporting the Blue Co Out movement whatsoever. You're actually enabling it. This is what the ownership wants. Fan divide when we should be united. Honestly. Keyboard warriors, you guys are a bunch of clowns. You can come at me, you can come at Max, you can come at Eunice, Johnny Minerals, whoever. At the end of the day, we're putting our faces and our voices out there for a reason. You guys ain't doing shit but just typing away. Because you guys can't afford to get a fucking camera and a fucking computer or PC, really. And a camera and put your opinions out there. You guys can't do it. Because you guys are scared. Ted Lasso, man, that would be crazy as the new manager, huh? Bunch of cowards, bro. Honestly.
So yeah, if anyone ever wants to do content or whatever, feel free to hop on my streams. Feel free to talk to me in terms of face cam, because I used to be so worried about putting myself out there, but not anymore. I'm not going to let these people get what they want and get to me and continue to abuse me and affect my mental health and stuff like that. I've got enough going on in my personal life. So yeah, just the announcement is here. You can see me. I'm not going anywhere. There's no secrets, right? You can take a picture of the back of my head all you want at Stamford Bridge. I've been going for years. So yeah, you guys can't get to me. Funny how no one ever says anything either at the grounds or whatever. So it's just hilarious. But yeah.
Yeah, because it's like I said, you guys aren't gonna go up to these people that have the platforms that Max has and actually go tell him this shit to his face. You guys aren't gonna do it because realistically, you guys are pussies, bro. Realistically, a lot of you guys are pussies, man. I'm on the other side of the pond. If I ever go to the bridge one day, which it is my dream to go to Stamford Bridge and just go watch a Chelsea game because it's 5,000 miles away, bro, from where I live. The odds of me going are slim, but I'm gonna do everything I can to make it happen. Like once I have my kid and once everything is settled down, my dream is to still go to Stamford Bridge. It's been my dream since I saw this team on TV, bro. It really, really has been. Max is absolutely right. You guys are a bunch of cowards. It's funny how nobody wants to say anything when they see him in person, but they take a picture of the back of his head, and then you start seeing people like Bobby Fairview call him a brown envelope. Are you gonna go? Hey, Bobby, are you gonna go actually say anything to his face? Probably not. But you're doing an exceptional job exposing the ownership. That's great. But go tell him this to his face. You probably won't do it. I'm not going to call you a pussy, but you're acting like a straight coward if you're going to keep on talking about him and then not actually go tell him this shit to his face. I've yet to hear any interactions really between you guys in person. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. More content coming soon. Appreciate all the support. And yeah, for those that
Can this lineup defeat Man City at the FA Cup final? Palmer as a second striker? I think if you play in a 3-2, 3-4-1-2, maybe that lineup's not bad. Now, Chalobah, a lot of people probably don't want to see him play in this game. I'd probably put in West, honestly, especially if you're playing with two wingbacks. Hato should be starting. And I would put West there at right center half. João Pedro as that left-sided striker. Palmer at the right, maybe dropping a bit deeper. So it'd be like a 3-4-2-1, I guess you can say, which is what I would probably run. Drop Palmer a little bit deeper, play him next to Enzo, and then have João Pedro play as that lone striker with Palmer and Enzo pushing up the pitch a bit more. But I just feel like to beat Man City, because they play a high line and they're going to have more of the ball, this is the perfect game to play on the counterattack. Drogba is an idol at Chelsea. Some fans joke maybe we found the new Drogba, but I try to find my own way slowly without thinking too much about that. João Pedro is a good player, exceptional. I call him a smooth operator, bro, because he is a smooth operator. When the ball's at his feet, the game goes to his pace. He's a smooth operator, but he's got some work to do to get to Drogba's level. But he's on the right path, I can tell you that. But a couple of things I wanted to do here before I get on out of here is I wanted to do a little of these reaction things. Now, everyone knows who Connor J. Cole is. There's a couple of videos on here I wanted to react to because I found it to be insane that people have these lineups and stuff. Let's see if I can find it. We'll start with this one, actually. This is over prime Neymar. Prime Neymar, guys. No, never. No. They're actually having a conversation about that. I did. I would probably leave the room here. If not leave the room, give my argument on why Eden Hazard in his prime was either on the same level as prime Neymar or right or just above him. I would probably leave like the room here, honestly. No. Oh, you're tripping, dude. You're tripping, dude. Really? Really? Connor. Really, bro? Prime Ronaldinho. The guy that actually won the World Cup with Brazil? The guy that's won multiple La Ligas with Barcelona? A Champions League with Barcelona? Really? Prime Ronaldinho is not worse than Prime Neymar, bro. That's craziness that you sat there and really had that reaction to that. Ronaldinho is considered probably the greatest winger of all time, the most entertaining player of all time. Do you guys remember when the Real Madrid fans gave him a standing ovation? The only time I've ever seen Real Madrid fans stand up for a Barcelona player and clap him off the field. That never happened with Neymar. In my opinion, in an alternate universe, Neymar, and I've had this conversation with people in the past about Neymar, that I felt like he was always supposed to be a Real Madrid player, but Barcelona came in for him. He fit the style of what Real Madrid was or is. That's just me. That's how my opinion. I've always felt that Neymar was a Real Madrid player that was playing for Barcelona. That's just how I see it. There's a couple more here I want to go over that I found like insane. There is another one here. Where is that? I don't agree with that. It has to be Raya. Not Raya. Raya would Raya would probably be the goalkeeper this season. Yeah, I don't. He is better than Timber. He is better than Jurriën Timber. Yeah, I think. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, Van Dijk's been bad this season, bro. Van Dijk's been bad this season. Yeah, Van Dijk's been bad this season, bro. But honestly, guys, I'm gonna get on out of here. I gotta get ready for work soon. Let me go full face cam. Again, I'm gonna reiterate this for the people that want to continue to be abusive on these platforms, bro. Grab a camera, get a microphone, and put your opinions out there. You got some shit to say, just get behind the camera and say it. Stop going in the comment sections and then being abusive to people, or going to the grounds like Max said and not even saying anything because you're worried about him actually telling you some shit, because a lot of you guys are just cowards at the end of the day. You really, really are. But tomorrow, now Man City do play Crystal Palace today. Man City need to win that game or else it's basically over. If Man City drop points today, it's over, in my opinion. I think it's absolutely over. Um, for my prediction on that, I think Man City do win. I think they beat Crystal Palace 2-0. I think that's going to be the scoreline. Now Crystal Palace in the past have been Man City's bogey team along with Tottenham, but Man City do have the FA Cup final at the weekend against Chelsea, but I think Man City just need to focus on the Premier League right now. Try to catch Arsenal. I mean, it's only 5 points. If they win, it'll be 2 points. They would have played the same amount of games. Arsenal need to essentially beat Burnley and then beat Palace at the weekend, because if Man City still at this point went out and Arsenal dropped points in the last 2 games, Man City will be the champions of England. But or not Man City, Arsenal will be the champions of England. But I don't think Burnley will beat Arsenal, but you never know, man. You never really know. But with that being said, I'm Jason, No Filter Charles. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get ready for work. I'm gonna go check on my lady in the other room, see how she's doing. And yeah, man. The tomorrow's stream, we'll see what news is popping off, what's cracking. Yeah, I'm out of here, guys. Peace.